I muted my mic. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday morning. Today is look at my calendar. Today is September 22nd, 2024. I'm Tina Bickford from the Tatted Stamper. This is my craft room. Welcome. Come in, have a sit, have a coffee. Let's have a little we're gonna make a card. Right? We're gonna make a card. We're always making cards here. So today is the first full day of autumn here in the Northeast. My husband and I actually went apple picking yesterday for the first time in a while. It didn't take long to pick, 20 pounds of apples. Lots and lots of fruit on the trees. It looked great. And the apples were super delicious. So today we're going to do a card using the Attention Shoppers bundle. I just got it. I started playing with it. Oh, I'm wearing these super cute, I don't know if you can see them, earrings. Oh, you can see them just a little bit there. They're leaves. These were gifted to me last night from a very special friend of mine who makes them. I love them. And yeah, so beautiful, beautiful. It's how I'm celebrating autumn. And it's like freezing. I'm freezing already. So, of course, because I'm a summer girl. So, if you are here and you're watching live, leave me a comment so that I know that you are here and watching. And if you come back to watch the replay, leave me a comment and let me know that you are watching. Good morning, Mom. Morning, Dad. So if you come back to watch the replay, let me know. I love to know that you all are coming back and watching these videos. If you watch the replay, you're able to pause and craft along with me. Yeah. So without further ado, let's switch on down to the desk cam and I'll show you all of my supplies for today. All right. So I'm going to leave the ring light off for right now because it reflects too much on all the stuff. Move my block out of the way. So today we're going to be using the dotted circles embossing folder, which is my absolute all-time favorite. I think that this folder just adds so much dimension and fun. It can be fun, it can be serious, whatever. It's very versatile. So we're going to be using that, and we're going to be using the Attention Shoppers bundle. So this is a stamp set and dies. So this just a couple of cute sentiments here, and I like all of the different fonts that are there. So you have that, and you've got a cake and it could be a wine bottle or sparkling cider bottle or whatever, and just plant in a package and some flowers and a shopping cart. And then super fun for the dies that come with it. These are all the dies that will actually cut out the images that we stamp. So the flowers and the gift bag, and the plant and the cake and the bottle. And then these super fun dies right here that actually make the shopping cart. So we're going to be using a lot of this stuff today, almost all of it. All right. So we're going to also be using, the colors that I chose are Highland Heather and Balmy Blue, because I think those are super fun colors. And then the Tuxedo Black Memento ink. We're going to be using all of these beautiful Stampin' Blend markers. I love, love, love these alcohol markers. So fun and colorful and really, make your project pop. So I'm just going to move all of this out of the way. Move this out of the way. All right, so just go over our paper. Turn the ring light on here. We'll just go over the paper dimensions. Let's see if I can make that a little bit lighter for you. Okay. All right, so we're going to start with our card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5, which is just a half of your standard 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. It is scored and folded at 4 1/4. I've already done that, and I've given it a good crease with my bone folder. So we get a good crease there. We also have a piece of white cardstock that is, this one measures, now there's a little, yeah, just a little fiber there, okay. So this one measures 5 1/4 inches by 4 inches. We're going to be using this for our embossed layer. We also have a piece of white cardstock that is 2 by 2. And we have a piece that is 2 inches by 3/8 of an inch. These two are going to be for our sentiments. I have a piece of crumb cake. Sorry, it's hard to see there on that that same color background. But so I have a piece of crumb cake. The crumb cake measures 2 inches by 2 7/8 inch. I have a piece of black that measures 1 1/4 by 2 1/4. And then I just have this piece of white cardstock. It measures 3.5 by 4.5, but I'm just going to be using this for my stamping and die cutting. So those are the measurements. All right, so let's get started. So I'm going to build this thing up first. I want to do I'm just set that aside for right now. I want to do the embossed layer first, because this is kind of, this is cool. So I'm going to be using that dotted circles embossing folder. And with this particular technique, you can emboss first and then do your blending, or you can blend first and then do your embossing. I like doing the blending first so that I can position the embossing folder exactly where I want it after I've blended the colors. So I'm going to be using the Balmy Blue and the Highland Heather. Now both of these, now I have these open, but because I have labels on the inside telling me which colors they are, I can easily see those. I am going to have to fix that one because it looks like it's popping up a little bit. I do have a hard time getting these in here without getting ink all over my fingers, but then you guys have watched enough videos that you know I have a hard time doing any of this without getting ink all over my fingers. And yes, Dad, I can hear you say it's the same with the deck stain from all those years ago. I get covered in everything. I know, it's me. So we're going to start with, so on my sample card, I did, I started with blue in the middle and then I did purple on the outside, and you'll see how I did that. I think I'm going to do this one just the opposite. So I'm going to start with purple, the Highland Heather on the inside. So I'm just going to come in here. I like to have, not that you need it for doing this, but I'd like to have just a little piece of copy paper, just scrap paper that I can just use to just dab some of the ink off. And then I'm just going to come right in the middle of this. I'm going to make sure that my paper is clean. It doesn't have any glue or anything on it, because Lord knows I get glue everywhere. Okay. So I'm just going to take, I tapped off just a little bit of the excess ink so that it's not too dark. And just very lightly, I'm going to start in the middle of this piece of cardstock, and I'm just going to swirl it. And you can just start to see it. Just a little bit in the center. And I'm just going to come in a little bit closer to the head of the brush, the blending brush. Now, these are not Stampin' Up! Blending brushes. Stampin' Up! Does have blending brushes, which I would totally buy, but I had these already in my craft room stash, so I am going to use them. All right, so that's the Highland Heather, and I just want just a little spotlight in the center. I know it doesn't look like much, so I'm just going to come in now and swirl in the blue, tap off the excess, and what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to come just around the purple. I'm going to come in and do just a little circle so that I know where to go, and then I'm just going to do little circles all the way around. I'm actually going to put a little bit more on there, tap off the excess, and just very lightly come in here and make this a little bit wider. A little bit. And I'm going to come into the Highland Heather and just blend that really good. Just like so. I'm going to go in the other direction and just swirl, swirl. Just like that. All right. Let's close these up so that we don't get covered. Okay. So then I'm going to come in and take my embossing folder. So out of the way, take my embossing folder. And I'm just going to come in and position this exactly where I want that Highland Heather to be. You see that? And then I'm going to run this through my embossing machine. So to do this, this is a 3D embossing folder. So to do this, I'm going to need my #1 base plate and my #4 specialty plate. So I'm just going to make a little sandwich of that. And I'm going to roll that right through my embossing machine. I'm doing that off camera, sorry. All right. Come on back. That. And let's just take a little look at how that looks. Just like that. Purdy, purdy. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that right on my card base because, again, look at this. My new glue holder. I got this from, it's a company in Minnesota called the Country Hive. So cute, so cute. Love it, love it. Hold your glue upside down. So I am, whenever you're working with, especially the 3D embossing folders, I am very liberal with my glue just to make sure that it is going to adhere to my card front. I try not to get too close to the edges because I am putting a lot of glue on there, because when I push down, give a little bit of pressure, some of that glue is going to come out towards the edges, and I just don't want it to, actually come out. So there we go. There's our card and our card base. I mean, this is pretty just as it is, but we're going to do some stuff. All right. So now let's do our stamping, and then we're going to do our die cutting. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our stamp set here, and we are going to, do a plant, and we're going to do a couple packages, and we're going to do a birthday cake, and we're going to do some wine, and we're going to treat ourselves, and we're going to say happy birthday. All right. We're going to do all of those. And we are going to get our block. Let's get another block so we can actually do a couple of these. All right. All right, so I'm just going to take here's the plants. I'm just going to tap that in there, tap, tap, tap. And I'm just going to come in, and I don't want to get right to the edge because we're going to die cut these out after we do that. So we're just going to stamp that. I'm just going to that one off, and then let's put the happy birthday on here. That one will be our next one. Oh. Happy birthday. Yeah, we'll do the happy birthday in the tuxedo black. I put that on the block wrong. I did that yesterday too for some reason. All right, so the happy birthday is actually going to go on the small piece here that's the 2 inches by the 3/8 inches. And just going to line that up on there. Stamp it. Cute. Cute. I'm just going to do that. Okay. And then I think that one will fit on here pretty good. So let's just do the bottle. All right, a little speck here, but I'm not worried about that because we're going to die cut that. So I'm not really sure how I even got that on there, unless is it on the stamp? Oh, it is actually on the stamp. Okay, well. All right, so let's do now a package. Let's do 2. And they just have to be spaced evenly enough so that you can just get the dies around them. And then we're going to just pick up the birthday cake. And we're going to do a cake. Perfect. Okay, and then the last one is the treat yourself. Now, with the treat yourself, I'm going to do something a little fancy on the treat yourself. I am going to get my sheet of paper. Set that aside and that aside. So I'm just going to come back and on my 2 by 2 inch piece of paper, and sorry, I know you can't see that very well because I have this here. So I'm just going to come in and I'm going to stamp, and this fits just barely on, this stamp fits just barely on the 2 by 2. So you're just going to stamp that in black, and I'm just going to wipe my stamp off real quick. All right, close this black, and I'm going to grab the Highland heather, and we're going to do something kind of fancy. I'm going to tap, 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 get ink on your stamp. If you can see, this is actually kind of dark. I want it to be a little bit lighter for what I'm doing, so I'm gonna stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp on this again. When I stamp on this one, I'm going to offset it just a little bit so that it looks like the treat yourself has a shadow, and I'm just going to come in here a little bit close to so that I can see. And I do like, when I'm doing this, I do like to stamp the darker color first, the black first, because it is easier to see that that lighter color. So it's easier to see the black through the photopolymer stamp when you're stamping the lighter color. So we're just going to do that. Okay. And put that away, and we're going to put this away, and we're going to do some coloring. We're going to do some coloring. All right, so we're just going to set those to the side. We're going to do some coloring. So I am going to do, let's just bring all these in. Okay. So let's do the cake. Let's do the cake yellow. So I always like to start with my lighter color first. So I'm just going to take the first thing, I'm just going to color these candles because those I'm not going to do anything fancy with, just color those. All right. So when I'm doing the blending, when I'm using the blending markers, I like to do the lighter color first and then go back in and put some darker shading in. So each one of the Stampin' Blend markers comes with, you get a brush tip, which is this side, and a bullet tip. So you can see the lines are a little bit wider here than they are over here. And there's also a picture of the tip here. And when you buy these, you get a light and a dark. That is what comes in the set. Easy to see in the colors. You can see these are your sets. And what's cool too is on the other side of the marker, if you happen to have it on the other side, those lines are still there. So you can see which tip is which. All right, so let's do the light yellow. I'm just going to come in here, and you don't have to be real, I mean, you don't want to color outside the lines, but you don't have to be real, super precise. And then I'm going to come in with my darker one, and just over on the sides, I'm just going to come in and shade it just a little bit over on the sides. It's going to almost look like it's giving the cake some dimension so that it almost looks like it's round. And then I'm just going to come back in with my light and just kind of drag that dark out into the middle here. Kind of blend all of that. And then for the middle of the cake, the frosting, let's do purple, the Highland Heather. So we're just going to come in here. With the light, we're going to do the same thing. Just come in here with the dark and just give it a little bit of dimension, a little shading on the sides. I got a little bit carried away over there, right in here. So let's see if I can correct some of that. So with the alcohol markers, you also get this. It's the there's no color to it, so it helps to kind of erase some mistakes. You can just come in here and just do this. It just kind of helps to. It almost erases the color, the marker. I really got carried away here. That's all right. That's all right. All right. So that's the cake. And you can just see how even with the yellow, it's all a very light color. You can see how it's darker on the sides than it is in the middle. So it almost gives it a little bit of dimension. Good morning, Lisa. All right. So let's do the plant next. We're going to do the plant in Granny Apple Green. The leaves anyway. So we're just going to come in here. This is like really simple coloring. And then I'm just going to take the dark, and I'm just going to, in the bottom, just going to do just a little. That's it. That's it. For the pot, I think we'll do the pot in this. This one is, what is this one? Pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie. All right. I'm just going to come in and do the pot this color. We'll do the same thing with the pot. We'll do this. Just pull that dark right into the light. Just like that. We haven't done any blue yet, so let's just do blue. And I'm just going to do just that with the dark. Now with these alcohol markers, you can also come in here. I really don't like the way that cake came out, but you know what? I'm going to fix it. It's going to go in back behind some of these other ones. So you can come back in with the dark, even though you colored the dark, you can come back in with the dark and do the same thing and just give that a little dimension. All right, so for our bottle, Highland Heather, no, you know what we're going to do with that one? We're going to do, let's do Berry Burst. Blackberry Bliss. Let's do Blackberry Bliss. It's very similar, but it's a little, you'll see, it's a little bit different. So this looks more like maybe a wine bottle to me. I'm just going to come in here and you can tell I'm not being fancy about it. I'm just doing it quick. And for this one, I'm just going to come in with a dark Blackberry Bliss and I'm just going to do the sides just like this. And I'm not going to, maybe even on the bottom. And that's it. That's as fancy as I'm going to get with that one. Those over there. All right, so for the label, let's do the label. We'll even do the cork blue. Just do that. Come in with the dark and just give it a little bit here. And now the bags. All right, so the bags. So all of this stuff is going to be in our shopping cart. I think this is quite a bit of yellow, so I'm not going to use any more of the yellow, I don't think. I think that's going to be quite a bit. Although that is going to be in the back because of all of the boo-boos I have there. So let's do a Granny Apple Green bag. All right. So I'm going to start with my light again. And I'm just going to come in and color. And I'm not being super fussy about it. Just like that. And you'll notice I didn't do the side. That's all right, because I'm going to actually, that to me, that is on this bag is going to be shaded. So I'm going to come in with the dark there. And then I'm just going to kind of feather this dark in and get a little bit wider as I get to the bottom. And then I'm going to do a little bit up here at the top. Then I'm going to come back in, same as before with the light, and I'm just going to pull that dark into the light. I'm not going to do that for that side though, because to me that is definitely just going to be I feel like that's just going to be dark anyway. So I think for the tissue paper, we're just going to do the Highland Heather. And I'm not going to do any shading on the tissue paper because I just don't want to. We're just going to color that. Just like that. And then I think for the other bag, I think we're going to do a blue bag, balmy blues. We're going to come in with the light and we're going to do exactly the same thing and just color, not being super fancy or careful. I'm just making sure I'm not going outside the lines completely. And I'm going to come in with the dark, do the exact same thing this side, and just feather, get a little bit wider at the bottom, all the way, and up here at the top. And then let's pull some of that. Just like that. And we'll give this one pumpkin pie. And I'm just, when I'm doing the tissue, I'm just doing the light. blend. I'm using the light blend to do the tissue. Almost done. There you have it. Leave all of those out of the way. So you can see, like on the bag, you can see it pretty good on that green one. You almost look like you've got some dimension on these things. All right, so we need to die cut some stuff. Let's die cut some stuff. So to die cut, I am going to move all this stuff out of my way. I am going to come back in. Let me just get these stamps out of the way, and let's grab our die. So I'm going to need that guy and that guy, and we've got a cake, a bottle, we've got a plant, and we've got a gift bag. All right, so to do your die cutting, you need your base plate 1, your plate 2, and you're going to need 2 of your plate 3s. Always one for the cutting plate, and then one that's not near, is marked up for the top. So we're going to do that. I'm just going to set my top plate aside, plop this on. I use washi tape, and just whatever washi tape, just to hold this in place while it's going through the machine so that the dies don't shift on me. So do that one. And let's do the plant. How you guys hanging in? Good? Okay, I'm gonna do the plant. So just lining this up best I can. Throwing that washi tape on there to hold it in place. Let's do the cake. Okay. Cake. And then, so we'll have to do the present a second time. So we'll have to put this through a second time so that we can get that second gift bag, because you only get one die for each of the items. So that's not a big deal though, because we're going to roll our, we're going to roll this through. I'll put this down here. So I'm going to also put my crumb cake up here, and I'm going to put my shopping cart on there. And then we're going to put that black cardstock up here, and these are the wheels for the shopping cart. So these two, because my cardstock piece is large enough, I'm not worried about not using the washi tape. So I'm just going to make the sandwich with my top plate, and then I'm just going to roll that through the machine. Sorry about my arm in the camera there. Just gonna come, we'll bring this here. And now we have the wheels for the shopping cart. Get a little piece out of there. And I'm gonna grab my take your pick tool, and I'm just gonna get some of that out. And then there's our shopping cart wheels. And then we have our shopping cart, which, let me just get all these little pieces out here. Those little pieces. All these little squares that come out. Move those out of the way. So I don't want those to go, I don't want those to be on my plate when I put it through for the other bag. So I'm just gonna use my take your pick tool to get this out of, look at that. Cute. Cute. All right, so we're just going to take these. We have our cake. So the way that I position the die, and you don't get a lot on the edge, so you really don't see all of that bleeding, that ink bleeding that happened to me. We're going to do that. We'll take the plant. The plant looks pretty good too. I was a little off on that one. Didn't have that one quite centered, but that's all right. It's all right. Take this guy off. Did pretty good on that one. I did pretty good on that. Center. We have an awful lot of stuff in the shopping cart. Okay, we'll take this guy out. That one, oh, that one was centered really good. Did good, did good. All right, so then I'm just going to put this, and I do find with this one, for some reason, I can get the present centered pretty good, but I do, you know, I don't know, it's just my eyes or what. So I'm just going to put this guy back in, roll that through machine. Then we're going to start putting our card together. We have all the pieces ready to go, and we're going to put our card together. So, all right, let's just take this. And that the washi tape, when you use the washi tape, you can actually use it a few times before you need to, you know, get another piece. Okay, cool. Yay. All right, let's bring this back in just so that we can see it, but we are going to build the stuff that's in our shopping cart. So I am going to, first things first, I'm going to put this under here so you can actually see what I'm doing here with this crumb cake. Okay, so I'm going to take the shopping cart and the wheels, and I'm going to put just a little teeny tiny dab of glue on each of the tops there, because I'm going to put the wheels on the shopping cart. And I'm just lining it up so that you can see, so that it's just coming right up to that, and you can't actually see that black from this side in the shopping cart. Okay. All right. So put that there. Let's just do this. I want you to be able to see the shopping cart, but I want you to see the other stuff that you are not going to be able to see. So we'll put the shopping cart just like that, but these will go here. All right. So what I did with these, because I want the shopping cart to actually like pop up on this. So I'm going to use dimensionals to pop all of this up, but obviously there's not really, you can't really put dimensionals anywhere that, you know, that they're not going to be seen. And I want to make sure that all of this is going to fit in the cart. So I'm going to take my cart and I'm just going to hold all of this stuff. And you can do it a little at a time. You can hold a few items at the same time. I think that and the wine. All right. So I like the way that looks with those there, the cake and the. So I'm just going to take this, I'm holding it so that it all looks like it fits in the cart, and I'm just going to flip it over and just very carefully make sure nothing's moved. I can still see that my shopping cart is all around all of it. That one in just a little bit. That one over just a little bit. Nothing hanging out the bottom of the shopping cart. And I'm actually going to come in here, and sorry for my arm in the camera, I apologize. I didn't move my tape. I'm just going to take a piece of clear tape, and I'm going to hold those three together. And that's all I'm going to do with that. And then, when I put this all together, those three items will fit in the cart, and I don't have to worry about that. So I do want to put my other bag in here, and I don't know, where do I want to put it? So I'm just going to figure out, where do I want to put that bag? Do I want to put it here? I think I want it to look like it's coming out the front of the shopping cart, but I want to be able to see that green. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to actually move my tape so that I'm not putting my arm in the camera that way. So I'm just going to come in and just a little bit of clear tape to hold that guy in place as well. All right, cool. Now, when you have your shopping cart together like this, when you have a shopping cart, you can see anywhere on this shopping cart, on the back side of the shopping cart, anywhere except over here where there's no cake or whatever. I can put glue on the back of the shopping cart anywhere I want. So I'm just going to flip that over, and I'm just going to put tiny globs of glue. Oh my goodness, you guys. Tiny, tiny. On each of these intersecting areas here. Like here. Like my husband is mowing the lawn or sucking up leaves or something. And I'm going to put it here because he's right outside my window. So I'm just going to put glue on all of those little intersecting, you can see just, oops, right there. That. And then I'm just going to come in and basically put my shopping cart around my items. And because I only put glue in those areas, that's the only place it's going to stick. Now, I may have put a little extra, a little too much glue, and it's a little bit tacky right there. I'm not worried about that right now. I can get that off after. I just want to make sure everything is in the cart. Everything is in the cart. Yep. Okay. All right. Then what we're going to do, we're going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals, bind them, and we're going to plop this on our card. So I'm going to put some dimensionals. So where these overlap, I'm going to put dimensionals also on those. It just will further reinforce that those parts stay together. But I want to put some down on the corners. Want to make sure I'm hitting all the areas. Put one up here. And I think I put one more right in here. All right. Now I do want to make sure that I put some on the, because I want the wheels to have some kind of support under them, but well, you'll see what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put one dimensional on the back of my pot, my flower pot here. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put this guy. You know how when you come out of the store, you always have to use the bottom to put more stuff. It's usually like your paper towels and your toilet paper. But so I'm going to put this guy here. So one of the things I'm going to do that will help support this a little bit, there'll be a dimension that's on the back, but I'm actually going to glue the bottom of the pot to the black part of the wheels, and I'm going to glue the leaves to the basket. So to do that, I'm just going to come back with my fine tip glue bottle, and I'm just going to come in, same thing. Oh, this time though, Tina, use just a little bit of glue. Don't go crazy. So little bit of glue there, a little bit of glue up there. And then this guy can we'll position him right in here. Press that glue there so that adheres to the wheels, and then this guy here. So this part of the wheels, that's going to be supported by the dimensional that's here, but we still want to put something in here. So I'm just going to take my snips, and for my Stampin' Dimensionals, I'm just going to snip little pieces here, little very thin pieces here, very thin. And I'm going to use my Take a Pick tool. And I'm going to come in and just grab those little teeny ones, those little tiny ones, and I'm just going to put one here. Just want to make sure it's thin enough that you don't see it. And I did cut two, so we can do another one Well, let's do one over on this side. Just like that. Okay. So you can see all the dimensionals that I have on that. We're going to support this thing. Now let's just pull all of our dimensionals off using my take your pick tool just to get them all off because it's easy peasy. Just a little jab. I'm going to be real careful when I do these little ones though because I don't want to actually peel the dimensional off the shopping cart wheels. And one more here. Just come on, just like that. Lift them up just a little bit. All right, there. All of those out. Okay, so then I liked the look. You can put this anywhere you want, but I thought if you put it in the middle, you're not gonna be able to see that Highland heather. So I like to offset it over here, bottom corner. You can do this corner if you want. I just happen to like this corner. So I'm just going to tap lightly on all those dimensionals there. And then we're going to put these on. Now, I want to pop these up on dimensionals also. I did like the look of this one being offset a little bit, so that's what we're going to do with that. So I'm just going to get some dimensionals here, pop those on. Now the backings come off super easy on these dimensionals. I've used other like pop-up dots or dimensional tape, and it doesn't the backings don't come off quite as easily. So I'm just going to put this off to the side just a little at an angle. I liked that look. And then this happy birthday one we're going to put here. So I am going to put one dimensional on this side to pop that up, and I'm going to put glue on this side so that it sticks to this. But I thought this looked a little bit, it's too white on white here. So I'm just going to come in with what I'm going to do is I'm coming in with the color that's on the outer ring, and I'm just the blending brush already, it still has a little bit of ink on it. So I'm just going to come in on my happy birthday sentiment, and I'm just going to run it up just halfway. I'm not, so it almost gives it a little like ombre look. It gets, darker into lighter. So that's just like that. So let's put one dimensional on this side here. And then I'm going to put my multi-purpose glue on this side, just a little bit. You don't need a lot. You definitely don't need a lot on this. And I'm just going to pop that on like that. Hit that dimensional. I'm just going to hold this for a second, let that glue take. Just like that. Those out of the way. Oops. These backings for these dimensionals, like they're everywhere. They're everywhere. They get stuck to the bottom of my feet when I'm walking barefoot. They were out on the deck the other day. There were some that were out on the deck the other day. Crazy. So I'm also going to use, I like this. I'm also going to use though a little bit of, this is called Wink of Stella. It's like glitter. It's like a little glitter pen. So I'm just going to use that on a couple of things here. My wine bottle label, the leaves in here, maybe the candles over here. I'll show you. I'm not sure how well you can see that from that camera angle, but I'll bring it up so that you can see. You see. Wait, can't. Oh, you can see a little bit there. There, you can see a little bit. Okay. All right. So I like this, and I think that there's a lot going on, but I wanted to do something a little bit different here. Just because it looks, the rest of it looks like there's a lot going on, but this looks very plain to me, and I didn't do any blending on this. So I'm just going to add some bling to this, and I'm going to use these are the Purple Fine Shimmer Gems. I do love these. And there's 3 different colors here, so I can just pick whatever color I want. I'm going to go with a lighter one. And I'm just going to pop a couple of these right on this tag, just like so. And maybe put another one. I don't want to put another one. Put one up here. Just put one up here. Just like that. That out of the way. And that is our card. You can see there's light coming in from my window. I have the shade pulled, but there's still light coming in, so I'm sorry about that. I don't really know how to block that so that there you go. You can see that. And let me just show you, I did the same thing. I made this card. I did it with the opposite purple and blue. I did the blue in the middle and the purple around. I did the blue, the balmy blue is in the treat yourself. And there's that one. Cool, cool, cool. Let me just show you some of the other ones I did. So we just put these ones up to the side. I am so sorry about that light. It's just the way the sun is positioned, I guess. So I did this one here. I didn't do any of the blending in the background. I just did just the plain. I did a little bit of black sponging around there, and I put the happy birthday sentiment on the card. Did that one. And I did the same thing just in this. This one's in portrait. This is landscape. So the same thing, I put the happy birthday banner down here. I actually put the plant in there in the cart with the flowers. And just, I'm acknowledging that nobody puts a cake with lit candles in a shopping cart. And I know that, but it's just a card and it's supposed to be fun. So this one I used the shopping is always a good idea sentiment. And then I did these same 2 cards, or basically these same 2 cards, but I did them with using the So Swirly embossing folder, which I also love. And for this one, I actually put some books. These are books that are actually from the Potions and Spells stamp set, which is a Halloween one. And then did a landscape version of that with the So Swirly. So that's all of the cards using the Attention Shoppers bundle. So you can put anything in the cart you want. You can actually, if you didn't want to do the die cutting of the shopping cart, I don't really know why you wouldn't want to, because it's super fun to do. You could always stamp it because you do have that stamp and the wheels, and you could stamp the wheels and then die cut the shopping cart and do the same thing here, except have stamped wheels instead of a die cut. I love this one with the die cuts. I just do. And you can do this with you could do this with a just for you or a thanks, or even with a treat yourself, and you could actually tuck a gift card into the shopping cart instead of putting all of this other stuff in there. So super fun. And put that just to the side so I don't lose any of those dies. And yeah, so when we do the video that I'm going to do next week, let me just move these. The video I'm going to do next week, I think I'm going to do something that is, instead of doing a card, We're going to do some of these. We're going to do these treat boxes. We're going to do some of these treat boxes. These things are stinking cute. So I watched a video. My Stampin' Up upline, Susan Cantfield, excuse me, made this little Frankenstein. This is using the Potions and Spells. This one here. And each one of these is actually made using the cauldron die. So I thought, you know, people are going to need to make Halloween treat holders, so we'll do those. So she did this one. You can see a video on how she did this one. We can do this one if you want. I also did Count Dracula and a black cat and the cauldron with the bubbles and the ooze. And then I did the witch. So with the witch actually uses, I needed something for her hat. So this is actually a Christmas tree die. So I'm going to put a picture of these on my Facebook page, and I'm going to have you guys tell me which we can do. I think in the time slot, we can probably do 3 of them. So I'll have you vote on which 3 you want to do. Okay? All right. So let me switch back to the me cam so that I can say goodbye. Where am I? Here I am. All right. So anyway, I hope you really liked this card. It's super fun. The stamp set is super fun. I thought at first, oh, I don't know how many people want a shopping cart, birthday card, or thank you card, but it's fun. It's super fun and easy. And you get some coloring. You can color and blend. And you don't have to use the Stampin' blends. You can color them using whatever you want. Crayons, colored pencils, regular markers, whatever you want to color using them. You can just shade them with a regular lead pencil if that's what you want to do. But you can make each one of the items super cute. And you can just load up birthday cakes that are in the shopping cart, or just gift bags, or I don't know if you want to put that many bottles of wine in your shopping cart, but I'm not judging. Maybe you do. There are some days that I do. But you can it's very versatile, and you can put other things, and you don't have to even use the shopping cart. You can do, and I'll actually do that. So next week's video, I'll have some examples, some card examples on how to use this stamp set without even using the shopping cart, and it'll be super cool. All right. So, yeah. So join me next week. We're gonna do some Halloween treat boxes. I just need to know which 3 you all want to do. So I will post that on my Facebook page, The Tatted Stamper, and you all can vote. Okay? I will talk to you next week then. Have a good week, everyone.